British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, he seems to constantly be battling his own mistakes and also members within his own party. And he just squeaked by a leadership review this week. What do you make of this? How has he managed to survive for so long? And what do you think the future holds for the British Conservatives?
Boris Johnson, the man with the crazy hair. That's who we're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. I am a little jealous. I'm a little, follically challenged. So I kind of, I would take his hair if I could.
Well, I won't go down that path, Michael. I think you're fine the way you are. And,
Thank you. Thanks, Nick.
But the thing is what's interesting about Boris Johnson is that he built a new winning coalition for the Conservative Party, because he did better in the Midlands. There are areas like they used to call it the Big Red Wall, where Labour was almost insurmountable in a lot of these constituencies, and Boris Johnson managed to crack that, which was a significant setback for Labour and part of his building of the new coalition. Mm-hmm. That said, the Conservative Party is still fighting within itself, even on issues like Brexit, on issues related to the defense relationship, for example, between Europe and the United Kingdom. And my understanding is that as part of the Brexit deal, for example, the Europeans had offered to make sure that there were still strong security ties and defense ties between Europe and the exiting United Kingdom. And a lot of Conservative MPs, even though they were okay with a lot of the other Brexit conditions, actually wanted this to happen. They even to have a Brexit, but that they wanted to keep defense and security better aligned with Europe, and this was just not on for the Johnson administration. So he's fighting policy battles. It's kind of like he's fighting at home, and he's also fighting the opposition parties. So it's going to be interesting to see whether this guy can survive. But to your point, he keeps surviving, right? And as a result, he's still prime minister. But we'd like to say, for those of us that follow history, even big players like Margaret Thatcher have been ousted by their caucus. Mm-hmm. So he should be quite nervous about having over 100 caucus members vote against him in a confidence vote.
It's kind of a strange parallel to outgoing Alberta Premier Jason Kenney as well. I mean, both leaders face criticism over their handling of the COVID pandemic. Johnson was caught in Partygate. There was some situation with Kenney maybe as well. Both had a leadership review and both squeaked by, but only one of them chose to resign.
Yeah, and I think let's face it, for Boris Johnson, it's as everyone knows, he's wanted to be prime minister ever since he was a boy in short pants. And let's not even visualize that at all. But he's wanted to be prime minister for quite a long time, and he's never going to let go of this job. He's going to hold on to it to the very end. But I think part of the problem is that these the Partygate, whatever you want to call it, just shows a certain level. It grinds some people the wrong way because it shows a certain level of hypocrisy, where leaders ask their citizens to do something during the pandemic, and then they do not abide by those rules themselves.